Hey, everybody, this is Jen from Lovonya and the Wellness Enterprise. And thank you so much for being here with us with Charles Matthew, our Crystalline Energetics expert. Charles, we're so happy you're here. And, we're really grateful for you for your generous contribution. You've taken us through this amazing series where you've connected with us with Lemuria. You have, supported us in tapping into our inner core, clarifying higher wisdom. You took us through how to cut energetic cords with Ho'oponopono, authentic Ho'oponopono. And today we're going to be turning pain into joy. So I can't think of a better curriculum to have in my life. And I just personally want to thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yay. And I enjoyed being here too. Yay.
Oh, so beautiful. We're going to have a lot of fun, as you can see. So get ready to smile and laugh and really.
Well, we're talking about joy, so we'll have some joy. And
Charles, before you get started, I'm just going to say to everybody, I know a lot of you are Lovonya members, so thank you for being a Lovonya member. And for those of you who aren't, you can learn about that on lovonya.com. And Patrick isn't here. He sends his love, and we're gonna have an amazing class. And there's going to be some interaction, right, Charles? You're going to deliver some amazing information. And so I really encourage people who are on the call to participate and really take in this information and use it for your life and what the kind of pain you'd like to release and joy you'd like to create. So with that said, Charles, I'm gonna have you take it over.
All right, thank you very, very much, Jen. And with that said, how many would be okay turning pain into joy? And that's what we're going to be doing. And we're going to call on people in order. Jen's going to call your name. She's making notes. And anyone that would like to ask me a question, you could put it in the chat and Jen could read it to me because I'm probably going to be pretty busy. And before we get started, what I'd like to do is bring up the energy and then show you a few new ideas. And here we go. La de do da da ma da ke da se da la ko do do de da la ma da de da de do de da 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 de 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 do de 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 de. Oh. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. And with the sounds that I made just a few moments ago, do any of you notice a change in the vibration, the feeling, the sight, or even hearing that you're having now? Any changes?
I'm more relaxed.
Thank you. So let me just get started with right into it. Who has a pain that they like to transform into joy?
Does numbness count?
Yes, it does.
Okay, I have a numbness.
Okay, so you have a numbness, Shira, and where is the numbness on your body?
These two fingers.
Okay, so holding those two fingers up, what I'm going to do is you probably got some of you got these little baggies in the mail, and what I'm going to do is use these to show you a little bit how to use them. Okay, and if you have these are what I call the rare earth minerals, and for you right now, what I'm going to do is take one of the rare earth minerals out. I call it It's a piece of black kyanite, and I'm just taking it out of the bag, and I have these on tape inside the bag, and you may not be able to see me doing it, but I'm just gonna take it outside of an inner bag. And by the way, if you haven't received this, or we'll talk about that toward the end. And there we are. So now I'm going to put this on your fingers, on my screen. And what's happening to your fingers now?
Some tingling, and we're getting Kriya's like crazy.
What are you getting like crazy, please?
Kriya, K-R-I-Y, K-R-I-Y. It's a Sanskrit word for like a shudder of energy that is
Beautiful.
like being zapped.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so this go ahead and let this numbness energy go out the tips of your fingers, or even come down all the way into your right shoulder, out through your hand. And just to make sure we're getting all of it out, I'm going to work with you in bringing the energy from your fingers into the middle part of your body, your inner core, and let that go ahead and go down to the molten core of Mother Earth, down out through the bottom of your feet now. And how are your fingers?
They're still cold and numb, but there's some tingling, which is always a good sign. I'm still working on getting it to the core of me and the earth.
Jen put together some real good notes about how the steps to use some of the rare earth minerals, and there's still a website that's available where you can pick that up. All right, and now Shira.
My sample is on the other side of the continent in Washington, and I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, but I'll just connect long distance.
All right, all right. Well, we can help you with that too. You know Jen's number. And
I got her number.
now, how are you feeling with your fingers as you kind of move them around out and about? And
They seem to have a little more mobility,
okay.
maybe a little more feeling.
And I mean, we wouldn't want to do too much joy over your getting your fingers back, the sensations back to normal. Because if we did that, we'd have to have a party all day long. Party all day long. So how about if I let you be with that for a little bit, and
Thank you.
may I speak with someone else about pain to joy?
Charles, Sarah has her hand up.
Zara. Okay. I've been meaning to call you. We'll talk a little bit later, okay?
Okay.
Drop me your line, a line. But just real briefly, the stones that you have, even though they look broken up and all, they work, and I'll send you some new ones, okay?
Great, thank you. And there are a couple that, were arrived okay. And so those I have been using for some things with my cosmic tower, and definitely it seems to amp things up. So that's been great.
It's really great for that. What size do you have?
I've got a 35. I would have loved to have had a 75, but hey, a 35 is a good place to start.
Actually, that's what I use and what I prefer to use.
Well, and Jen was the one that actually gave me the good idea as far as putting a couple of things on the tower, and kind of, having it amp the things that way. So I started.
You
doing-
mean Jen told you a secret? Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Jen, for doing that. Isn't that great how you can get more use out of just these little itty bitty stones? The rare earth minerals, what they do, less is more. And the ones that were crushed up, sort of like powder. I'd like for you to test that against another
Okay.
of the Lemurian star seeds, because what I found in my little measurement is that the powders are more powerful than the.
She
crystal.
mentioned that also, but I was telling her that the grit or the powder in mine, part of it isn't even on the tape. It was like
Well-
in the envelope. So I don't know if it would be.
Okay, then it fell out, because what I did is I put 2 pieces of tape like a sandwich,
Yeah,
and they must have come undone.
something happened because it's so fine that it was just like, almost, if I hadn't been looking for cosmic dust, I would have never even noticed that, but it's not even attached to tape or anything. And then the other one was the one of the rare earth minerals, the
Yeah,
kyanite.
it's the black kyanite, and
Kyanite,
that's known to splinter quite a bit. Yeah.
And it's like in about 5 pieces or something like that.
Okay. And that's another one that you can put together, just between 2 pieces of tape, and it's real good. And it's real good for clearing out stuff that's kind of stuck and all. Yeah. But we'll clear that up.
Okay. And I've actually got a pain to joy thing, is why I raised my hand.
Yes, please.
And I don't know, I wouldn't even call this exactly a pain right now, but it's tinnitus. And it actually is a sort of a mental and emotional as much as a physical pain. And it's been going on for years. And talk about joy, I would be so joyful if there was even a lessening of it or anything.
And Sarah and Charles, I just wanted to step in just right before, Charles, you speak, because I know we've talked about pain as blocked energy. And I just want to make clear that we're not like intending to treat, diagnose, or cure, or prevent a disease, and that you should always seek counsel with the physician. So with that, Charles, I'm going to let you go on and talk about how to move blocked energies.
So, please, may I ask you to just lift up your head a little bit higher. And there we are. That's good enough. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm working on my screen, so on your body. And what I'm going to do is take a piece of larger of the black kyanite, and I'm going to just put it over your picture, which just changed on my screen to over here. And just as I put it right there in a horizontal manner, meaning it's almost flat, I'm going to clap my fingers probably about 15 times. Y'all hold on, okay? And now, go ahead, please take a breath. And notice how your ears are now.
They seem about the same, but I've actually got a pulsing in my head right now. And not a uncomfortable thing, just sort of like an interesting kind of pulse happening.
Okay.
And I'm getting warm. But then that might be because I'm like got the focus on me.
Okay, right. All right. Yeah, over the time we've been together, a big thing I've been doing is playing with Zoom, testing its limitations. and being able to work remotely. And so far, it's worked exactly the way I thought it would, which means that results happen even though we're a long distance away, not even in the same room, maybe not even the same state, which is real good because I'm going to come up with some real nice packages and offerings relatively soon. And I really like working remotely because after I finish with someone, they get to rest for a little bit or take a short walk before they get in their car and drive, which means that they get some time to integrate with what went on energetically. So please, Zara, please take a breath and tell me how your left little toe is doing, as whatever was stuck drains out from you now. And how is your left little toe as you move it doing?
Fine.
And how are your ears?
They seem about the same, but for some reason, I have the sense that later on, like right now, I'm sort of focused so much on it that that might be yeah.
And what just happened?
Well, I was just checking in as far as like I've still got sort of some sensations in my head and my ears. Actually, I'm noticing it more, but I think it's because my attention's on it right now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Is it okay if we let this just sort of be for a moment or two?
Absolutely.
And while I talk with someone else, and next person, please.
Mary, I saw your hand up next.
Hey, hi, Mary.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
How are
hi,
you?
hi.
Hi.
Look what I got.
Right
I
on, right
just
on.
opened my envelope and I'm like, whoa.
And remember, less is more.
Yes,
And
it's just beautiful. Oh my gosh. Hard to swallow.
and there's real power in there. And my purpose of putting these 6 stones together, and these would actually do the purpose for working with just 3 of them, starting with what I call the program quartz, and then the Lemurian starseed, LSS, and then the dark stones, which I call and grounding type stones. If you're having a problem, you put this down by your ankles and just let things go down through the bottom of your feet, and let it get out of your system. And of course, I wouldn't want to suggest at all that to Zara that anything going on in her head could actually move down through the inner core, down through her legs, her knees, the bottoms of her feet, roots growing, connecting with the molten core of Mother Earth. And what color is that energy going down through the bottom of your feet, each foot, right in the middle? What color is that energy going down to the molten core of Mother Earth now, Zara?
Red.
Let that rage go down, down, down. And also create, please, a 3rd root, and the root is your tailbone. We kind of had one from the reptilian type body that we still view on people. So imagine an imaginary tail, and you can wiggle it if you want, but let a root go down to the molten core of Mother Earth. And and just let it start off as a trickle and go on down, down, down. And what color is that energy going? Into the molten
Black.
core of Mother Earth. Thank you.
Black.
Thank you. And just let that continue to go down, down, down. And thank you for your patience, Mary. Be with you in a moment. Okay. And let it swirl. Put some sparkles in there, like silver sparkles, gold sparkles. And what color is that energy now going through all three roots as they swirl down, counter and counter and clockwise? Just
There's some gold coming into it.
thank you, and just let it go. And just kind of notice that if you move your jaw a little bit, how your ears may have already changed or popped now. And as you take another deep breath, let me go and talk with Mary a little bit. Would that be okay?
And you just faded in and out. I've got a weak connection, so I missed what you said there.
Okay. Would it be okay if I talk with Mary for a moment or two?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And you just be there. I'll be working with you too. You also. Okay. And Mary, please, how may I help you?
Oh, hi, Charles. It's so nice to see you as always.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I
Good to
had
be
a
here.
funny thing happen to me a couple of days ago. I was just resting after helping my husband. He's pretty sick. And I kind of nodded off. And you have funny dreams and you kind of jerk awake sometimes
And what happened?
out of these kinds of things. And I fell to the side and I hit my breastbone right at the beginning of my rib cage. It feels like right on the corner of the table that was there, and I just went down as if I'd been stabbed. And it's been a couple of days now. I mean, I'm walking and moving and it hurts pretty bad, but and even just sitting here talking today and touching these and opening my envelope, I can feel something is moving in there that is lessening somewhat. That feeling that I was so intense that it was so hard to breathe. So that's what I'm here.
And in another moment, I am going to take out a program quartz crystal, which is programmed with the energy of the Lemurian starseed and with the energy of a Monte and a Monte. And very, very, very powerful. And this is something that I programmed myself over about 12 years. And what I'm going to do is I've got it real sticky there, so to kind of keep it so it doesn't so it stays in the envelope. What I did is I used the tape with regard to moving the rare earth minerals around because they're tiny, and that's how come I use the tape. I do use tweezers, and but I found this tape is really, really, really helpful.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, you're so special, and we're going to change this real quickly. If you'll excuse me for a moment, I'm going to get a Monte. Can you feel it coming already? All right, I'm going to go get a Monte and a Monte, and they're going to come over with their energy, come into the program quartz that they programmed, go right onto the picture of you, down to about the area you're talking about, and you feel that now. Now, I wish y'all could see my screen, and if I knew how to set up the computer differently, we could. But I just put that a little piece of program quartz, and as you breathe from left to right, front to back, how are you?
Opening so
Thank
much
you.
wider. Like
Yes,
my shoulder blades were so stuck together in the back, and now they
yes.
feel like they've kind of expanded. And that part where my rib was hit so hard just seems to have more space around. I don't know. It's just,
Beautiful, beautiful.
it's the
So
best I can explain it.
could you help me with a dear friend, okay? And continuing with your transformation, could you bring some of that energy from your inner core, which is an infinite supply for you and anyone else that you share your energies with? And please help me out with Zara, okay?
Absolutely.
And she's got a ringing in the ears or something like that. It may be a buzzing by now. And just go ahead and send love to her. On my screen, she's the fourth person, fifth person over on the right. You're the first
Mhm.
person on the left on my screen. And so just y'all share energy for a little bit. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you.
Okay. We bring in the energy of my dear friends, all the crystalline energy around here, all 45,000 pounds that has been programmed and programmed and programmed. And the real big announcement today. I'd like for all that energy to come in because they're saying to me, we want to go out there, we want to go out there and we want to work with who we're to work with. And they're allowing me to do this now, just with thought. Before I couldn't do it or I couldn't sense it. So I'm going to program a special one just for you, both of you, Zara and Mary. Okay. This is a little itty bitty pendant type thing that I had a few thousand of them in the box, but I thought I'd bring it along so that y'all can see it and call on energy from there, just from your mind. Call on energy from it's real close to the camera, so it's wiggling and all, and just I'm going to turn it counterclockwise and pull this out from each of you on a count of 3. There we are. And now real quickly, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And now how are y'all? Oh, my picture changed too. I did something weird. There we are. So please, Mary, how are you now?
Wow. Something really amazing just happened. That was wonderful. It just felt like something just disappeared, just evaporated. That was stabbing into the left side of my
Yeah,
body.
you were saying something about something was bothering you on your right side or something. How's that now?
It's on my left side, and yeah, it's much
Left side,
better.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's just unbelievably better. I can breathe.
And
Different.
thank your highest power and forgive yourself for whatever was holding things back because you are good enough and deserving enough exactly how you are for all your gifts now. And yes, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. And Zara, how are you?
It's the raw and
Zarar, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Hardly
Zarar.
anybody ever gets it right.
Okay, thank you. Zarar, thank you.
I tell people think of hurrah, but with a Z sound.
All
But
right.
anyway,
Yeah.
here's what I have coming up for me. The ringing and the buzzing and all that is about the same. I'm still having some pulsing in my head, but what's really obvious is what I think is an old childhood pattern that actually I was working on the other day, as far as wanting to give people what they. And so in situations like this, I find I'm so concerned about wanting it to change for your sake and everybody else on the call that it ends up being, yeah, that's like then blocks whatever
Well,
could happen from happening.
well, Zara, a little surprise for you, but you notice that green color that you can probably see. Well, you were already doing that with Mary. You were working on her. So
Thank you.
how about if you just turn that into a color of your choice? And what color of that choice would it be if you could make it a color of your choice for you to hear more of your inner gifts flowing through others, through you, for what you're here to do now?
Yellow.
Thank you. And put some sparkles in there. Some sparkles of the colors that you enjoy, that you're with, because this is about being in joy.
I am in joy. That's what's interesting. I mean,
And we really couldn't laugh about letting go of any pain. Because if you were to laugh, that would mean that you're not serious. And being not serious could only mean the opposite of serious not, which is related to the closeness of joy, which has a Y in it, which is addressing you, for you to heal you now. Okay? Have you done it already?
yeah, I think so.
Thank you. Pretty simple, huh?
Well, I mean, I still got the ringing and everything.
Okay. Did you notice all the changes in all the colors?
But I beg your pardon?
You notice all the changes in all the colors. You notice all, do you notice all the changes in all the colors?
It seems kind of kaleidoscopy, like a bunch of different colors.
All right, perfect. Because the way the mind works is it takes things very literally, especially the part of you that does any work on you. And what you have to do is imagine how you are with whatever it is that you want to change. So if you're looking for a pain to go away and you're focusing on pain, you're going to be recreating more pain.
Right.
Just like if you have something with your ear and you keep focusing on something with your ear, I think it began with a T or an E, or maybe it was blue or yellow, I forget. That if you focused on something else, what are you focusing on differently from what you were focusing on?
Well, I mean, that to me is what's hard about this is if I keep checking in to see if there's been any difference, then that keeps me focused on that. And so,
Well, sure.
and also with the group attention on me, so I'm thinking for me, it might be best to let things lie. And then maybe once, I'm engaged in something else, I might wake up in the middle of the night and suddenly realize, oh my goodness, there's less noise in my head.
And what would happen to your thinking that you just explained happening later tonight if you notice just by being there and being and feeling the warmth of the love around you, just from yourself, from your guides, from your gods, okay, your highest power. And just for 5 minutes focused on that, maybe even put your head back and took a little nap with your eyes open or closed, either way. And then we come back and check with you, okay? That be okay?
Yeah.
All right, super, thank you. Yeah, because one of the biggest mistakes is people with pain is they keep on focusing on the pain. And whatever you focus on is what you get, is what you feel and keep. So it's just a little bit of something called a mindset, and yet it's a real profound part of anybody working on themselves or working on anybody else. And that is to feel what it is that you how you are different, how you've chosen to be different, and be with that. Okie doke? Okie doke. So you notice that I'm working with these rare earth minerals. That's what I call them is general. And they're little itty bitty and you can't really see them real well, but yet things are going on with other people. They're saying this changed, that changed, or it didn't change, or all. What I've from a I want to just explain in brief what could be going on, because if it were possible, like it is, for you to be able to do work on yourself and others, that where people would change, where they transform to be more how they viewed themselves, heard themselves, smelled themselves, felt themselves, tasted themselves being, just pick one of those. And if you want to see yourself being differently, just see it in motion pictures or slides, or maybe where the light gets bright and then gets dim. But just feel that change within you. And how the rare earth minerals work is how I believe they work is they bring another frequency, another energy, another vibration from another dimension. And the definitions are gonna and words are going to differ depending on what book you're reading or who's telling you what or who's lecturing at the time. But what's happening is that we're self-changing, self-transforming our own bodies by putting attention on ourselves to be how we want to be. And within our inner core, we can create energy, and I'm going to show you how to create this with a different way of working with your inner core. And I'll just do that right now because I had hand positions for that time that I worked with you and showed you what we did. Well, I made it a little bit simpler because I felt it was too complicated. I had something about clockwise and counterclockwise. Well, it's 6 steps, and let me show you what I came up with. And I'm going to ask you to expect that things are going to change within you, because I'm going to stand up and let you see my body, okay, in my belly. But what I'm going to do is have a home position. And what I'm doing is I'm putting my right hand over my right breast, or my nipple more specifically. And you want it to be cupped in the center of the palm. So put it there, and this is the home position, and you put the other hand where the ovaries are. And I'd have to stand on my tippy toes, but kind of imagine if I were have female energy, which I do, because we're born with female energy, that it's in where my imaginary ovaries are. So this is the home position. Then what I do is I take my right hand, goes to the left breast. This is position 2. Then I switch the hands. Right hand being ovaries, left hand being left breast, okay? That's position 3. Then I cross over my left, and then what I do, can you feel that energy moving in there between your hands? And what I'm going to do is do another switch again. Bear with me a moment. Here we go. Okay. I've got my left hand over here. Wait, something just went odd within me. Wait, something went, whoa, 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 whoa. Who's feeling that? Who's really feeling strong energy in their hands? I can feel it within me. It's so strong that it's throwing me off. I'm going to have to sit down. Who's noticing strong energy between your 2 hands? We want to get some of your energy. Who is that? You can hold up a hand if you want. Okay. Okay. I won't put any pressure on you. What I'll do is I'll just start all over again. So I'm in home, right hand here, left hand ovaries. what I do is I cross over. So my right hand goes to the left. And then what I do is I switch hands. The hand that's on top is on the bottom. One that's on the bottom is on top. Okay, so that's a switch. That's the third position. Now what I do is I take my left hand, move it over to the right. All right, and that's that I'm calling a top cross. And that's position 4. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to take both my hands and put my right hand over right breast, left hand over left breast. And I'm calling this just a double top because I switch things on the top. And this is the 5th one. And now the left one or the last one is just I cross, a double cross. I'm going to do it again, okay? I start out again, right hand, right breast, left hand, ovaries. Just about 4-finger widths below your belly button in that area. All right, that's position 1. Now what I do is I move my right hand over to the left side, left breast, position 2. Position 3 is I switch the hands. I just switch the hands. That's simple. And let the energy go between the hands. I know I'm moving kind of fast, and sometimes it may take 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to feel the energy. All right, but I'll tell you what the benefit is in just a few moments, because then what I'm going to do is move the other hand, move the left hand over to the right breast, top cross. So this is position 4. Now what I do is I'm going to work only with the upper part of my body. And I'm going to put right hand, right breast, left hand, left breast. And notice that here, I'm not touching the ovaries at all, okay? And this is the 5th position. And now the last position is I just sort of cross over. I call it a double top. By working with your inner core and continuing to do this and working with it, say once a day, twice a day, is you're building up your inner your receptivity of your inner core to do work with your energy and work with other people's energy. This is a huge secret. I told you that I'd be telling you my secrets. Well, how do I get my energy? How do I keep my energy? How do I build it? I just showed you one of the biggest secrets. I get all my energy from healing myself and from healing others from my inner core. And it happens within me, and it happens within me on these other dimensions. Because and these other dimensions means that it's kind of woo-woo, and that means, well, wait, how can it be? You have organs in your body, and you have blood vessels, and how can they be in there, and other things? It's kind of like Stargate, if you've ever watched that. We're going to different portals and getting energy from these different worlds, from other dimensions. And this coming into us, it comes into us in frequencies that can be helpful to our body. And this is overseen and controlled by our creator, because it's way too complicated for even the top computers to be able to keep track of it. But by seeing yourself as different, this is what directs the energy. And if you build up your energy from your inner core, it's an infinite source. Does anybody just have a question about what I said? And if you do, just say it out loud or write it down in the chat.
Charles, while we're waiting, I'll just let people know that in the chat, Shira wrote down all the positions that you
Oh,
described.
super. Okay, super. Okay, thank you.
I have
Thank
a
you.
question
Uh-huh.
about the inner core. So I have found in the past, I have energy that moves through my hands, but it feels like it takes longer to heal myself than it does other people. So I don't know if that's something you can address. It sounds like when you're doing it, it's the same if you do it on you or somebody else. The same level of energy.
If it is, I'm faking it because it changes all the time. And what I do is, and this is another secret, and this is going to be hard to explain to you. And I'll just do it, and I'll explain some of the steps later. If I'm noticing that my energy is blocked a little bit, well, let me say if I'm working with another person, one of the first things that I do is I connect with them using the heart path. That means that I'm able to sense their energy, and I am an observer, and the observer affects the observed, affects what's going on with the observed. Whenever I'm working with someone, I will see who I'm working with, or the group, or the part of the person, as perfect blueprint. Perfect blueprint is a Hawaiian term for how we were when we were born. And I see that. And for me, it's kind of like an aqua field around the person. And what I'm doing, I'm calling in Creator to work with that person. And what I do is I go inside my body and I feel what's going on inside my body. Like right now, I'm noticing a tightness, slight tightness, left center, close to the left breast, kind of where my fingers are, if you can see them. And I notice something's in there. So what I'm going to do, because I've done this work so much, it's lots of practice is how come I've done this, is I'm putting some energy in there that's crystalline in color. I'm throwing in some blue sprinkles, the clear gold light of Christ, and all of a sudden I'm fine. My energy's flowing fine. And so by me changing me, the other person has an opportunity to take the energy that I just took, because we're connected, that I straightened out in me, and they're open to taking it, and they get to choose whether to take it or not, because we're connected. So my junky stuff stays with me, and the client's junky stuff or other person's junky stuff stays with them. And it may sound like there's 2 or 3 things going on at once, but it's more like 200 or 300 things going on. And I'm doing it because I've done it so long. And you may notice that when I get into the work and with someone, it's like I'm in a trance and I forgot what I'm doing, and I'm pronouncing words funny and that kind of thing. Well, it's all part of me. And you've heard this statement a lot: let go, let God. And that's a lot of what's going on. Me just getting out of the way so that the energy can do the work. I'm just here as a catalyst, as a helper for people to transform themselves. And you may say, well, Charles, you know how to do this and all this and all that. I am just doing my best to get out of the way, because if my conscious mind gets into the picture, there's no telling what could be going on. Okay. And just out of practice, I just learned to turn any thoughts that I have into thoughts that are going through me as a catalyst, so I can position my hands to let this dimensional energy work with whoever it's to work with, however it's to be with someone or with me, for the highest and best good, for transformation to happen. And that's how come, in a simple way, how I think it works. Okay. Isn't that simple?
Yep. Thank you so much.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense to me.
All right. It's sort of saying that I'm holding space for other people to work on themselves. And I can do it with multiple people in groups, just because I've done it so long, and because I'm gifted with this. Was I born with it? Oh, well, I believe I was. When did I discover it? I discovered it in '79. And someone told me, I was at a group, and they said, pair off, send the other person energy, and I'm sending the other person energy. My hands are shaking, and the teacher comes over and says, "You're a healer." And I said, "What is that?" All right, because my background before, I was in graduate school, and I'm a degreed engineer. I was one of these geeks in college and all, and I worked for the government when I got in college, and that was back in 66. So that was my background. It was very, very, very totally the opposite of what was going on. And I had an experience a year and a half before that of levitating in the air. And this happened in Fairfield, Iowa, with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's group, Transcendental Meditation. And I started doing that about three or 4 years before that 1977 Christmas break. And I went up for 2 weeks to Fairfield, Iowa. On the third day, we were getting explained about the rose and the sap and all that. And the instructions were to have a thought of meditating. And I went, okay. And I went to myself silently. God, if I meditate, if I lift up in the air, I'm going to be a service for life. Well, I did that. I lifted up in the air. All right. And I continued to do it for several years. And what I've physically, what went on, I couldn't tell. I rarely told people about it. And of course they wanted to see it and I couldn't see it. That was part of the agreement. But I just continued to do it. And what it did is it synchronized my brain waves. I had a real good quality of life. I was in bliss. And that's kind of how I got started. And then I continued to phase out of electronics. I was in very, very high tech. If some of y'all know Compact, they were my customer when there were 19 people there. And that's the type of thing I did. I work with test equipment, high level test equipment. And I had my own company at one time, and I just sort of let that go away. And I went full time into the healing, and I'm enjoying it now. I'm told now by my counsel to teach all my secrets, to get all the information out. I'm being supported by y'all being here. I'm being Amante and Amante. They're activating all the crystals. I've had some friends come over that are sensitive to the energy, and I have 45,000 pounds of minerals and stones and crystals and all in my barn. It's 100 yards looking in the direction which would be northeast right now. I'm kind of pointing my hand that direction, but I'm real close to them, and I've been close to them for a while. And they're saying we're here to help, we're here to help, we're here to help, and that's what I'm doing now. Okay, teaching my secrets. I'm going to be working with these crystals that are saying we're here to help, we're here to help, and that's how I do what I do.
Charles.
Yeah.
Thank you. You've mentioned Amante and Amante a couple times. Not everybody knows what Amante and Amante is. And so there's a moment, I don't know if it's now, but if you can share a little bit about what that is, that might be helpful.
Amante and Amante are crystal skulls. They're human size, and I acquired them and became their caretaker. Amante, who has a lot of nice, beautiful rainbows inside and is the more senior, she comes from Lemuria. And then there's Amante, who's just solid, clear crystal. And rather than me talk about it, because it's boring listening to me talk, why don't I just show you, okay? And if you all want to get some energy, you're welcome to take a, what do they call it? A picture of it, or a snapshot. I'm going to move about 8 feet. I have a laptop. I'm going to take it with me, and I'll introduce you. Okay? Better than me talking about it. All right.
Awesome.
So here we go. And excuse the mess. Okay, I I work with boxes and I put stuff in a box. It's my project. It's sort of like when I'm sending all those out, I've got one for the Lemurian starseed, one for this is how I keep things in order for me. That was the rare earth minerals that I sent out to you I was talking about. But I'm going over and I'm going to do my best to get a Monte and a Monte over, and you may see some things very, very, very beautiful here in a few moments. Let me get the, let's see here. I think something's wrong with my camera, but can you see?
Yeah,
the
yes, we can
crystals?
see. We can see
Okay,
go left a little. There they are, right, and the cosmic tower is right behind Amante and Amante.
take your pictures. And there's the cosmic tower.
How do we take a picture?
On my keyboard, there's something that says
Screenshot.
screenshot and press it, and that's taking a picture. Or if you have a cell phone, take a picture.
If you're on a Mac, it's Shift Command, I think Shift Command 4.
Okay, that's a Monte and a Monte. They're for real. I acquired the one on let's say on the picture, it would be the one on the left would be I acquired in 97, and in 2007 I acquired the other, which is just totally clear. So those are the crystals, all right? That's better than me talking about them and all that. So since you have a picture of it, just feel the energy that's on the picture that you took. And this is how I get some of the energy from some of the most powerful work that I do. I'll just create in my mind their energy working with me. And by the way, Zara,
Zara.
Zara, all right, excuse me. If you would like to welcome that energy in, after you get a clear picture of how you are transformed already, you're very welcome to. Now,
I missed part of what you said. My internet cut out on me again.
if you could choose to feel the energy from either crystal skull and the cosmic tower, all right, just there to kind of put a new test on a new thing on. I'm testing it out. All right, I test things a lot. I've got to make sure that same given, same result, same given, same result, same given, same result. That's how what an engineer gets taught in school, in college, that type of thing. They do the same thing, they get the same result. So go ahead and feel what's different with you now that you have really great sensitivity of the nothingness that's already gone and happened.
Well, I can give you some feedback that's a little bit different than exactly what you were saying, because mine has to do with the process you were showing people. I've been doing that on a regular basis ever since you had the class where you introduced us to it. And I do it often first thing in the morning while I'm still in bed. And in fact, I did it this morning and I really enjoy it. You know, I can tell I feel more balanced and everything. But while I was doing it during the class today, when you were showing people, and this was right after you were working with me, my hand had more energy coming through them. And it was much more noticeable than it's ever been before. It was like, you know, just a really amp up. And I'm getting chills now just talking about it and everything.
Thank you. And of course,
Definitely, you know, that.
And of course, I wouldn't want to suggest at all that you could maybe put your hand as it's transformed ready to work with your whatever the ear thing was, or inner ear or outer ear, because that would mean you're doing it yourself. And
well, I've actually done that before, but I haven't done it. It's like, it's at a whole other level now.
Yes, you are at a
of-
whole other level. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Go for it. Go for it. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Charles, there's a couple questions related,
Go ahead, please.
shared. So, Chiyomi wanted to know, are there more than your 2 crystal skulls? I visited 2 a number of years ago and I'm curious. And, I'll let you answer that first.
There are actually books and stories about crystal skulls. There's a story about there being 19 of them. No, 13 of them. And then there's another book that says that there's a different number. It depends on what book you're reading. And let's see here. My mind went blank. Tell me the question again.
Are there more than 2 crystal skulls? It's like, how many crystal skulls are there? I mean, yours are Amante and Amante. It's so unique. Do you know of others?
There are either the most proper documentation that I've come across either talks about 13 or 15 crystal skulls. You
Hmm.
have a Native American a story, you have a Lemurian story, you have a various cultures that are indigenous. They have different stories. There are many more, but keep in mind whenever you cut quartz that it fractures very easily, and so it's hard to cut unless you have the proper tools. And in many other civilizations, or they didn't have the proper tools, but yet the crystals got cut, and the crystal skulls got how they were. So where did this help come from? Could it have come from another world or that type of thing? There's a lot of stories there. I can see his face. He was one of my mentors. His name may come to me. I'm starting to get kind of goofy, so I may not.
Marcel Vogel?
Marcel Vogel is a friend. He's a mentor. He opened the door for me to use my electrical engineering background to be able to put it together with energy. And yes, I've been to Marcel Vogel's office with his SEM, scanning electron microscope that IBM gave him. But that's not who I'm thinking of. He worked with, he's a tall, slim man. He was known as the Crystal Skull Guy. I'll have to send it out in an email or that type thing. I forget his name, and I may remember it in 10 minutes. So if I blurt a name out, Nick Nasarino, that's the name. Nick Nasarino. He's passed already, and he used to be. His book. He was known as the father of the crystal skulls. But like there's several around. People have stories about them. People say you're not supposed to touch them. You can touch them. One came from China, one came from here, and people are wanting to know about Amante. Some very spiritual people, and they try to ask me all these questions, and I just say, I'm interested in what Amante can do for who Amante chooses to be with now. I'm much more interested in the results as opposed to any stories. So I just stop them cold. I don't tell any stories. It's like what is the person getting that that is present with the crystal skulls now, whether it's in person or via a picture or via a video. That's what if it results in a better quality of life, which is what part of my background is. I'm bringing in the tools of spirit to improve our quality of life now. That's my mission. That's all I'm interested in. I do know that the a big museum in London has a crystal skull on display. There are lots of stories about him. I don't know if that answers your question, because that's the best way I could answer it.
Did a
Can you
great.
share how you got them? The skulls?
Amante, I got a call from a wholesaler, and she said, I have a crystal skull, and would you like to buy it? And I said, no. I have too many crystals and minerals now. I'm going to pass. He said, well, it's really important you see it and all this. Could you just give me your opinion on the energy? I said, okay, opinion on the energy, come on by. So she came by. This was when I was in Dallas. She came by and brought this cardboard box in. I don't know, it was about 12 by 12 by 12. And it had newspaper in there. She's pulling out the newspaper, and here's this crystal skull. And I started hearing in her voice type talk. And she said, this is it. And I said, felt the energy, and gave her my opinion. And I said, okay, I'm going to pass. I've just got too much. I've got to figure out what to do with my energy. I'm moving to Hawaii, or I thought I was. That I had two trips that fell through, or two opportunities to set up a store in Hawaii, but they fell through. So I said, okay, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do. And later that evening, I got a strong message: buy me. So I called the wholesaler back, and she had just gotten it from her source. And I asked, well, how much is it? And she told me. I almost fell over. I mean, we were talking large numbers. So I said, okay, I'll transfer the money, and I'll have it tomorrow. And that's how I go to Monte. For the next 5 to 7 months, Amante was with me every night, and just transformation of information beyond what I could keep track of. And finally, I had to say, wait, I'm a human. I have to sleep. And so she finally got it and stopped, and didn't bother me as much. But that's how I got Amante. Her original name was Makana Lani, and that's the first name I gave her. And I was in New York City, and in a building. It was on Wall Street, and there were about 30 people in there. And I had Amante with me, and I took Amante out and talked a little bit. And then all of a sudden, I felt real funny, and I felt like my zipper was open or something. I couldn't move, and nor could anyone else. I couldn't talk. And that went on, people told me, for about 5 to 10 minutes. Just everybody in the room was frozen. And I heard this loud voice that said, my name is Amante. I am female. And I went, okay. and then from there, it's just been an interaction. I'm real lucky. I have 2 ladies around me, so I'm lucky. I have my doggy, and then I have Amante, so I don't need a third lady, and so I don't have to worry about looking for them. Okay. I don't know how come I said that, but I did. But so that's Amante. And then in 2007, I was at a trade show, and there was another crystal skull, beautifully cut. And I asked how much was it, and the guy said a price, and I said, will you take cash? He said yes, and I bought it, and it was a bargain deal. It was made in some kind of form. There was a there was a block of clear crystal, and it was cut. I don't know how, but it was cut recently. And because I wanted them to be the same and not have to carry 2 of them around, I transferred all the energy from Amante into Amante. You want to talk about a big task. That's a big task. Well, that's the kind of things that I do when I'm here at my property, and when I like to play. And that's the story of Monty.
Charles,
Yes.
thank you so much for this huge outpouring of energy for us. It's amazing. And we have a few people who have their hands up
Okay.
with around the
Okay.
question of turning pain into joy. And I
Okay,
think
let's do it.
Karen is the next one. And we're at 4. We've been going for 70 minutes now.
Oh,
So
wow. Really? Wow.
and so, let's
Wow.
see if
Okay.
we can support the 3 people with their hands up before we close out.
Okay, you bet.
All right, so Karen.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. I apologize for the background noise. I have a hard time sitting for any length of time, like sitting in a computer or in a
Oh,
car.
okay, but please
my
let
head.
me ask you, to please wave. I'm not seeing you on my screen. Oh, I see you now. Okay, Karen. Okay, I got you. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Go ahead. How'd you stop that noise?
I muted myself.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
apologize.
good. Good. No problem. Okay.
So I have severe hip pain and back pain when I sit for long periods of time in front of a computer or in my car for long travels.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and notice the pain. Notice the level of pain. How would you be if you had more flexibility with your hips now? And all that energy that you've seen and heard talked about, what if that was flowing into you in what part of your body? How does it get to your hips? And what color is it going into your hips to let you have more freedom of movement now?
It would be coming from the back of my head, down my spine.
Down
It's
your
colored
spine,
red
down that way.
into
Okay.
my head and back.
Okay. And y'all notice how I connected with her and then saw her. You may have seen a blue, aqua blue type burst. And from your inner core, please send to your hips that energy that's now transforming into joy. Knowing that you're good enough and that you're worthy. And say out loud, I am worthy of my love. And I feel my love filling my body completely. Coming from my own source as I touch my inner core, flowing all the way down. Wow. Thank you very, very much. Okay. And is there a difference?
Oh my God, that was so amazing, Charles. My heart filled, my whole body filled. I'm so hot right now, right up and down my spine. And it was just amazing. Thank you, Charles. And thank you for this amazing time.
Let's check your movement. Check your movement.
That wasn't me.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, wow. Usually I have such a hard time standing up and
Look pretty
that was easy. Yeah, it was easy. It was so easy.
Do it again. Do it again. Okay. Perfect. See?
Wow.
You saw a perfect blueprint of yourself. All right. You use your energy from your inner core to go and do your own transformation. This is how simple it is. And what we're doing is we're bringing in some real woo-woo type of things. And that's this energy that comes from other dimensions.
It's amazing. Thank you so very much, Charles.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And please next.
Clinton.
Oh, great. Clinton. All right. Yes, sir.
Oh, hey, Charles. Great to see you.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, my pain that I'd like to transform into joy is around my lower right shin and ankle.
Okay, so how will you be different when that part of your body's different now?
More agile.
Okay,
And
okay.
yeah,
And
and some,
and
you
and,
know,
and
this,
may I ask for some help from a friend of mine on my screen? Okay.
sure.
Reed, would you help me with Clinton? Reed?
Yes,
And
happy to
and
do it.
and, and please just bring energy in to your inner core, all right? And you too, Clinton. And Clinton, imagine how you're different. We'll connect with Clinton. I'm connected with all of you. And feel that energy different where you have more movement. Can you feel the more movement difference? Because right now there's a blue energy with sprinkles in it. What color are those sprinkles, Reed? Can you
White,
feel?
like white light.
Yeah, like white sprinkles. Do they have curls to them?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, we'll send those to Clinton. All right. Can you feel them coming into you, Clinton?
Yeah, I feel them coming in.
All right, create them yourself. Create them yourself. We're showing you how to do this on yourself too. And let them come in from your inner core. From your inner core, that's the middle part of you. And what color is that inner core changing to?
It's lightening up into like a,
You're
orange
doing,
yellow.
yeah, and you're doing beautiful, Reed. Thank you. Thank you. Continue, please. And so how are you different? Go ahead and show us how you're different now.
Well, I'm not as well. You see, this is sort of a thing that I had avoided up till now. It's like
Yeah. So go ahead and jump into it. It's safe.
right. Okay. I'm just saying that I feel like you've allowed me to perhaps circumvent something that's maybe generational, or
Well,
or,
there's one of the dimensions is time. Okay, you can work with the time. So if you were to go back in time to before the first thought that you had, that where you were thrown out from the tribe, okay? Notice how now you're welcomed back by your friends. Reed's helping me out, and whoever else may help. She is just over there, just sending you all kinds of beautiful energy. I mean, my God. Reed, send some to me too.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
send it to you both.
And on my screen, on my left is Clinton, Reed, and me. Okay. And then Karen's there, and then Mary. So that's how come I'm talking to them the way I'm talking to them.
okay.
Okay. So to know that there's what kind of proof do you already feel as you stand up that you know a change has been made now?
Well, it's easier to stand up for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's easier to stand up.
And I wouldn't want to suggest that you could laugh about standing up easily, because if you did, it could be too funny to even know that it's this simple to work on yourself.
Right.
See, we got the inner core. Okay, remember, less is more. You work with the inner core, and you do those 6 steps, and that's
Right.
to build up how to work with it. But I know that you want to do it quickly, so I'll give you a little trick. This is secret time, okay? So if
Alright.
you really want to going real strong, you work with what I call the nipple axial tonal. And what there is with the nipples, there's a plane that's horizontal, and it's on the nipple line, and it's you stick your thumbs there, and how you find it is you put your thumb up your armpit, and then the bottom part of your palm, that's where the point is. So find that point, okay? Find that point and press in on it, but don't create the pain. Don't make pain.
Okay.
Just do it below the threshold of pain, okay? below the threshold of pain, and just sit and push your thumbs in a little bit. And you feel how things are being released within you?
Yeah, it does kind of transfer that away.
It does. And just because we got time considerations, I'm going to show you how to do it even faster.
Okay.
What you do is you keep on pushing the same way you are, and you do this too, Reed. Okay.
Okay.
And you just, I'm breathing real fast and I'm pushing harder, but there's no pain. I'm doing it before the threshold of pain, because if you feel pain, your body does it a different way. So I'm doing that, and I just do real heavy breathing. And how's that feel, Clinton and Reed? How's that feel?
It's like some clarity came up here.
You bet. Now stand up real quick, because I wouldn't want to forget, suggest that it's even funny to laugh at your standing up so easily. Now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, thanks. I didn't even realize that I
All
was
right.
a little slower before, but appreciate it.
This is you doing you.
Right.
I'm here in Texas. Okay. All right.
Don't mess with Texas. All right.
All right. And Reed, did you feel it too?
I didn't feel that last part as much because I was still concentrating on sending energy.
Okay. Thank you. So can I show you right now? Can I show you that last part?
Yeah.
Just that point that you had that was painful. Push it to the point of just before there's pain, just before it. Okay, and still keep the same amount of pressure, but now just breathe deeper. And I was kind of exaggerating, and I just did, but just do like about 10 deep breaths, okay? Did you feel that releasing?
I think so.
Okay. Check how your energy's flowing up and down your body, all around you. And you
Yeah, it's much stronger.
Okay. It's that simple. It's that simple. But the trick is, the thing to know is, it's got to be below the threshold of pain. And both of you know how to do that, so you can teach others now too, and do it more on yourselves. All right.
I had just wanted to say
Yeah.
thank you, because when you were doing work on somebody else, I actually had pain initially in the like base of my neck, shoulders, and it went away. And then I've just been basking in the crystal energy.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. Thank you. And you're like my partner. You're on the left side and Karen's on the right side. So I'm looking at you. All right. Jen, how we doing?
We're doing great. I had an idea. There was a question about how the cosmic tower and the crystals are interacting. So I don't know if you could speak about that. We've got like 6 more minutes, I think.
Well, let me say that that with regard to, I still got to do new testing before I can give real answers that I'll back up technically. Because keep in mind, I'm a high tech guy, and that's just how I am. I like to test. I still have bunch more testing to do. And what I've noticed is that with pains on me is that there was real good interaction with my 35 in terms of interacting with the crystals. Like what I would do is I would move things around, and I put different different stones on the top, different minerals on the top, just like you suggested to Mary, I believe. And that's the simplest answer I can give without being too wordy. Okay.
Charles.
And all I can say is that I with the 35 and only with the 35, because the others are a little different, certainly the big ones. It makes a big difference. One big thing that I get from gut from the 35 is Dallas traffic. When I went to Dallas a day or a weekend ago, I had a great drive, even though the traffic was very slow on Central Expressway, and I was energized and I wasn't angry at anybody. I had a pleasant drive, so if nothing else, I'm going to have a more pleasant drive when I'm in traffic, and I think that's saying quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I still need to test it because I've got to test it when there's water and all that, when it's raining, all that type thing.
Beautiful. Thanks, Charles. Well, I think that, we're about ready to close up, and I just again want to thank you for all of these classes, and for people to know that the replays are available on the Lovonya YouTube channel and the Lovonya BitChute channel. And for Lovonya members, we have a whole section with event replays where you and I we've done some shorter videos that people can access. So it's just been amazing, and the huge gift that you are to this community. And I just really want to thank you for being you and for teaching us, showing us, how to model this amazing way of being, to bring out our higher guidance and tap into our inner core and just become this beautiful crystalline energy and tap into it. So thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
I think there are some things in the chat over here. People are saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
If you guys
Thank
want
you.
to
Thank you, everybody.
unmute, if you all want to unmute and
Thank you, Charles. Marcia.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Charles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
I feel so much
Thanks a
better.
lot, Charles.
Yay!
Thank you.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Thank you,
yeah, laugh, laugh, laugh,
everybody.
praise it, laugh.
Love you.
Love,
Thank you.
love.
Love you.
Love and
There
light.
we go. Zara. Zara.
Hurrah.
Hurrah!
All
You're
right.
the best.
Thank
You.
you all.
Girls.
Thanks,
I love
everybody.
you. I love you,
Thank
Jen.
you,
I love you
Jen.
all.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Buddy.
Much love. Thank you.
All right.